Yo you guys, welcome to Shulk 101 Ultimate Edition. This guide will cover the raw basics of Shulk to help you play him in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. The first thing that we will go over is the Monado Art mechanic, starting with exactly how to activate an art, followed by the changes from Smash Bros. For Wii U to Ultimate. Shulk has access to 5 different arts that all have properties and mechanics tied to them. The arts are Jump, Speed, Shield, Buster, and Smash. In this game, Shulk has 2 different methods to activate his arts. The first method is called the scroll method because as you press the B button, you're able to scroll through all the arts. The second you stop pressing the B button is the art that will be activated. The arts that are on cooldown will be grayed out, and there will be a meter below that will indicate exactly how long it will take for the art to come back online. Active arts also have a bar that shows the remaining duration. The second method to activate an art is the dial method. To use this method, simply hold down the B button, and then all 5 of Shulk's arts will appear around him. To select an art, point your control stick in the direction of the art that you want to activate, and then let go of the B button. This method is typically faster than the scroll method because it does not require you to cancel your current art to switch to a new art. The dial method can also be used to manage and monitor all of your arts at the exact same time, to see exactly how long it will take for each of them to come back. Now that we know how to activate our arts, let's go through their properties and their differences from the last Smash game. All of Shulk's arts in Ultimate are similar to the custom Hyper Monado arts in Smash 4. This means that the durations are short, the cooldowns are long, but the effects are very strong. Let's start off with Jump Art. As the name implies, it allows Shulk to jump really high. He's even able to reach the Battlefield Blast Zone. Jump Art lasts 10 seconds less than it did in Smash 4, with a max duration of 6 seconds in Smash Bros. Ultimate. Jump Art's cooldown has been increased from Smash 4 by 8 seconds for a total of 18 seconds. Due to the short duration and massive cooldown, this art is used more as a defensive recovery option. You can still use Jump Art offensively, but be wary as you might not have enough juice to get back. The major downside of Jump Art is that Shulk takes a lot more damage while the art is active. In Smash 4, Jump Shulk took 22% extra damage, but in Smash Ultimate, Jump Shulk takes 30% more damage. Speed Art makes Shulk super quick, which actually allows him to keep up with Sonic.
You're too slow!
Once in Speed, Shulk has a decreased jump height but an increased fall speed. This leads to a deadly combination offstage, which makes it really difficult to recover in Speed Art. Ultimate Speed Shulk only lasts half as long as it did in Smash 4, for a total of an 8-second duration. The cooldown for Speed Art has been increased by 6 seconds for a total of 16 seconds. Shulk also does less damage when in Speed Art. Ultimate Speed Shulk deals 30% less damage. In Shield Art, Shulk becomes a thick boy. The duration and cooldown of this art is the exact same as Jump Art, which was 6 seconds and 18 seconds respectively. This makes both Jump and Shield Art the shortest art with the longest cooldown. In Smash 4, Shulk dealt 30% less while on Shield, but in Smash Ultimate, Shulk deals 50% less damage. But Ultimate Shulk is also tankier, only taking 50% from attacks. Shield Shulk in Ultimate also deals considerably less knockback than he did in Smash 4. Shield Shulk also has decreased movement speed and decreased jump height. Shield Art also runs out faster the more that Shulk is attacked while it's active. Shulk is also granted more shield health while in Shield Art. Buster is for dealing big boy damage. Shulk and Buster actually deals the exact same amount of damage that he did in Smash 4, which is 40% more damage. However, Buster Shulk receives 30% more damage from attacks. In Smash 4 it was only 13%. Buster Shulk also deals less knockback. Buster only lost 6 seconds on his duration for a maximum of 10 seconds. And its cooldown only increased by 4 seconds for a maximum of 14 seconds. This makes Buster the art with the longest duration and the shortest cooldown. Smash Art is actually one of my favorite arts to use in Ultimate, just because of the insane amount of knockback that it grants Shulk. It has an 8-second duration with a 16-second cooldown, which is the exact same as Speed Art. Shulk deals 70% less damage while in Smash Art, which is even less than the 50% reduction in Smash 4. The benefit of Smash Art is that it gives us an insane amount of knockback on all of our attacks, but the downside is that we become even lighter than Pichu, which makes Smash Shulk the lightest character in the entire game. Now I will highlight general applications as well as tips and tricks for each art. Jump art can be used to reposition yourself when pressured in the corner. You can also use it offstage to improve Shulk's recovery distance and increase Shulk's recovery options. Something that I found to be really useful with Jump Shulk is that you can short hop at any stage with platforms and Shulk won't land on the platform. In Smash 4 this was not the case, so using Jump Art on a stage with platforms like Battlefield and trying to short hop was very awkward because he would land on the lower platforms. Now on any legal stage in Ultimate, Shulk can freely short hop while in Jump Art to avoid projectiles or any other attacks. Due to the increased speed and fall speed of Speed Shulk, I found him very difficult to control at first. My short hop aerials were very inconsistent because Shulk landed before the animation could even come out. What I use now that helps me a lot is I set my right trigger to jump. By clicking the right trigger and the A button at the same time, I get an automatic short hop aerial. Smash Ultimate introduced a new mechanic where if you press the jump button and the A button at the exact same time, you will always get a short hop aerial. With this control scheme, you could easily do any short hop aerial while in Speed Art and get it every single time. In Speed Art, Shulk has great footsies and control in the neutral. Against slower characters, this may pressure them to start pressing buttons, which Shulk can take advantage of with his crazy speed. Speed Shulk has intense burst potential. Speed Art is also very good at tech chasing. I will link a video in the description by Ben Skeleton that goes into a lot more detail, but here's a sample of an application of that video. The basic premise is to use Speed Art's amazing run speed to take advantage of your opponent when they're in a disadvantaged position to rack up more damage. Another interesting thing with Speed Art that's similar to Jump Art is that you can use Speed Art's full hop on any stage with platforms and you will not land on the platform. This means that you can full hop in Speed Art and not worry about getting caught on any of the platforms. Shield Art is a really fun art that makes Shulk super heavy. He becomes virtually immune for the 6-second duration. You can use Shield Art during multi-hit jabs to actually punish back even if you were hit first. You can also use Shield Art to survive certain multi-hit kill moves. Shield Art can also be used to break any combo in the game at any point in time, which makes Shulk potentially one of the only characters in the game that cannot be reliably comboed. Buster, as we all know, is really great for dealing damage. Buster Art along with down throw in this game actually gives Shulk access to many true combos. A lot of these combos depend on your rage, your opponent's percent, your opponent's character's weight, and their DI. So you need to take all those factors into account in order to land the correct combo. At extremely low percent, it's best to go for Buster down throw into down tilt. Low mid percent, you can go for down throw into Ftilt. At mid percent, you can go for a Buster down throw into a Buster Fsmash, which does around 40%. Slightly higher percent, you can go for down throw into dash attack. And at high percents, down throw can actually kill confirm into Airslash. To turn this into a kill sip, you need to first buffer deactivate Buster during the down throw animation, and then follow up with vanilla Shulk Airslash for the kill. Buster is also really great at popping shields. The most reliable shield breaking options that Buster Shulk has is Backslash and down smash. You can also buffer deactivate Buster during back throw to set up a kill confirm with vanilla Shulk Backslash if you read an aggressive back air or a mistech. Smash Art has crazy kill potential. Airslash becomes an extremely effective stock deleting tool when in Smash Art. Bair is pretty good too. His other reliable kill options are Bair, Utilt, Ftilt, F-throw, back throw, down tilt, Nair, and Dair. No way! Monado Art landing leg cancel, or MALLC, is still in the game. but it's a lot less useful and relevant due to the landing leg reduction on all of Shulk's aerials. Shulk still gets invincibility frames whenever an art activates though, so you can still use that to avoid attacks. You can use the dial method to change an art if you read an incoming enemy attack. Since we went over Shulk's neutral B, I feel it would be appropriate if we dive into his other specials. So let's go into Shulk's forward B, or Backslash. Backslash got a bunch of really good buffs. Most notably, you can actually now recover with Backslash. You need to use it at a certain height, otherwise Shulk won't grab to the ledge. Backslash also has 3 different lengths depending on where you hold the control stick. Backslash will go really far if you hold the control stick forward. Backslash will just do its normal range if you don't hold the control stick at all. And if you hold the control stick in the opposite direction that you are facing, the backslash range will be cut very short. All of these lengths can be used to recover and are great at mixing up Shulk's recovery even further. Backslash has maintained the mechanic where it has a sweet spot on the opponent's back, dealing extra knockback and damage. Backslash can also be used to hit opponents on a platform above you. The only notable nerf is that Backslash gets hard countered by both Ken and Ryu. Next up is Shulk's up B, or Airslash. The first hit of Airslash can now snap ledge, but you have to make sure you're at the perfect distance, otherwise you will go too high or too low to get the snap. Delaying the second hit of Airslash grants additional horizontal recovery. Airslash is able to hit opponents at the ledge after their invincibility wears off. This is especially deadly when combined with Smash Art. Airslash is one of Shulk's best options out of shield. Shulk's down B, or Vision, was tragically nerfed. It now no longer goes through shields, which means its utility against projectile heavy characters is now gone. It also has decreased knockback. There are 2 different versions of Vision. The first version is just a regular counter after using down B on a hitbox. The second version requires you to tilt the control stick in the direction that the hitbox is coming from. Although Vision was nerfed pretty badly, it's still the most anime attack in Smash. Speaking of nerfs, Shulk's jab is just bad. Yeah, just don't use Shulk's jab. Shulk's dash attack also got nerfed because it doesn't travel nearly as far as it did in Smash 4. Keep in mind that Shulk's aerials have relatively the same frame data that they did in Smash 4. The main buff is that it can now recover much faster after landing with an aerial. Now we will get into one of the reasons why Shulk is so much better in Smash Ultimate than he was in Smash 4. Aside from Shulk's arts being extremely potent this time around, all of Shulk's aerials got reduced landing lag. This is extremely significant because that is one of the reasons that was holding Shulk back in Smash 4. And that is why we were using Monado Art landing leg cancel to compensate for the fact that Shulk suffered severe landing lag whenever he landed with an aerial. So let's start off with the attack that sits at the foundation of Shulk's entire kit. That would be his neutral air. Nair got some really nice buffs. It went from 10 frames of landing leg in Smash 4 to only 6 frames of landing leg in Smash Ultimate. The animation for Nair has been sped up a lot, which allows it to completely loop around Shulk in one short hop very quickly. Nair is Shulk's main combo starter due to the fact that it can follow up into almost anything. After you hit someone with Shulk's Nair, it's best to fast fall. This improves the consistency of Shulk's combos. Forward air went from 16 frames of landing leg in Smash 4 to only 10 frames in Ultimate. It is one of Shulk's main kill options and is extremely effective when your opponent is off stage. With Buster, you can combo forward air into down tilt at mid percents. Another interesting change is that the later hitbox affair will no longer send your opponent behind you. It will always send them forward. In Smash 4, the later hitbox affair would send the opponent behind you. Another thing to note is that you can drop down from a platform with forward air. As soon as you press down to go through the platform, immediately flick the C-stick forward to get a fair. Forward air is also able to hit opponents at the ledge that no longer have invincibility. Back air received a mix of both buffs and nerfs. The buff is that the landing leg went from 19 frames in Smash 4 to only 11 frames in Smash Ultimate, which is only 1 frame more than forward air but has slightly longer reach. The back air is also more parallel to the ground, which makes it easier to hit smaller characters. The main nerf is that they completely removed the front hitbox from back air. This makes back air worse at punching rolls behind you or for landing. Back air now serves as a really great poking tool in neutral. Or you can use a retreating Bair to punish an aggressive opponent. Similar to forward air, you can also drop down from a platform and use back air. Simply run off a platform, and the second that Shulk is airborne, flick the C-stick backwards to get a back air. Down air got a fat landing leg reduction. Shulk went from 24 frames of landing leg in Smash 4 to only 14 frames in Smash Ultimate. Dair has a sweet spot closer to the hilt of the Monado that can spike aerial opponents. You unfortunately cannot spike grounded opponents. Dair can still be used to drag people off stage. Dair can also be used as a low committal edge guarding tool. Dair can also poke opponents through platforms. Up air went from 15 frames of landing leg in Smash 4 to only 9 frames in Smash Ultimate. This makes up air Shulk's second least leggy aerial, right after neutral air. It's still a very powerful attack if you manage to land it. Up air was nerfed in the sense that Monado Purge is no longer a thing in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. Let's segue over into Shulk's throws. All of Shulk's throws got nerfed by doing less damage, but some got buffed. Down throw got hit with a knockback reduction and is no longer Shulk's go-to kill throw in Smash Art. Shulk's forward throw is the second best kill throw when in Smash Art. Back throw deals the most damage and the most knockback out of all of Shulk's throws. Fun fact, Shulk's back throw in Smash Art is actually stronger than Ness's back throw. All of Shulk's tilts got a buff due to the new dash mechanic. In Smash Ultimate, you're able to cancel your dash with any tilt. To fully utilize these new mechanics, you want to use the tilt stick control scheme. Tilt stick is setting the C-stick from smash attacks to tilt attacks. One of the best abusers of this new mechanic is Shulk's down tilt. Running down tilt can be a really good tool to use in the neutral. It's also an excellent tech chase tool. It becomes an even better poking tool with Buster Art due to the increased shield damage. Down tilt can also be used to hit opponents at the ledge once their invincibility wears off. Shulk's up tilt also got a buff by having increased horizontal range at the beginning of the attack. One of the strongest uses with up tilt is chasing landings in speed art. Ftilt should be treated like a mini smash attack. Ftilt is a really great bait and punish tool. You can use it after dashing away from your opponent, baiting an attack, and then punishing with Ftilt. Ftilt can also be pivot cancelled. To do a pivot cancel, make sure your character is in the running animation. Then you want to hit the control stick in the opposite direction that you're running in. After you do that, you want to immediately flick the C-stick forward. This will cancel the turnaround skid animation that Shulk normally has, and will instead give Shulk's Ftilt an extra boost. Last but not least are Shulk's smash attacks. Overall, Shulk's smash attacks are relatively the same as they were in Smash 4, except for up smash, which got a slight knockback reduction. Up smash can still be used to catch both regular get up and get up roll. Forward smash still has really good damage and really good knockback. Forward smash is the most optimal punish in a tech chase scenario at the ledge due to the fact that it covers every single option. Down smash feels the exact same as it did in Smash 4. You can still pop shields with Buster down smash at the ledge. Alrighty you guys, I think that about covers it. If you enjoyed the guide or learned something new, make sure to leave a thumbs up, and subscribe for future Smash Ultimate content. I will have an FAQ in the description, but if you still have any questions remaining, feel free to leave them down in the comments below. Till next time, peace out.